Pull up a chair. This is Fluxtaposed, episode 212, recorded on May 22nd, 2018. On the docket today, we've got RL. We'll have you get caught up on what you're playing, featuring Deadpool 2 and Evil Genius. Finally, close out the show with that community grab bag and the sweet, sweet, awkward finish. As always, thanks for listening. Thank you for watching, and above all, enjoy the show.
It's a secret.
Hey! Hi. I was just saying hi. Hey! I was just saying hi. Well, I got scared because I thought it muted you again, and I guess I'll see, but I was waiting on chat to confirm whether or not they could hear what you were saying, because for some reason the last few times you've been muted during that particular intro section. Very annoying, but here we are. You're unmuted. I don't know why. Goes down. It's amazing that we even can do a show considering how many problems we have. I have no, you are literally unmuted. I don't know. Maybe the only thing I can think of is start and stop the stream.
That's fine. Try it.
Wait. So they could hear you before.
Now
you're coming through.
Now I hear me.
Well.
Yeah. Now it's all good now. I don't. Works right for us. It sounds the audio quality seems weird too, but I don't want to stress about it because we're doing backups. So if the stream quality is weird, I don't know. Now they've got echo too. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know why there's an echo either. You should only nothing has changed. I never change any of these settings, and for some reason it just does it for whatever.
Is when if we push play, right? We start the stream.
I don't know either. Well, shit. That's what happens when you take a week off, apparently. Yeah. It's because now I'm pressing specific things to try to figure out what the hell is going on.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know. That shouldn't even the button that apparently is muting you does not make it sound like it should be muting you. It's supposed to only affect the preview, not the actual recording. So I don't know why.
Now you're echoing.
Am I echoing to you?
Oh, I'm watching the stream to verify. You sound fine. For me, you sound perfect. You sound absolutely normal. Go ahead and say something right now. We'll see what.
Echo. Pa cha hiya. Am I echoing?
No, you're good now.
Didn't change a damn thing.
Oh.
Didn't touch anything.
There sounds like there's a fan running, which I think is just that feedback.
Yeah, that's my PSU I was telling you about. Yeah, for some reason, if you hear "whoa" in the background, it's my computer. I can't do anything about it right now, unfortunately.
Well, I'm going to pretend
this is fucked up.
Didn't happen.
I'm going to cut that out for the audio portion.
And then I'll go, welcome back to Fluxtaposed. This is episode 212. We're happy to be back. We've had a week off. We'll get you all caught up on what's going on, but we're happy to have you here. Hello to everyone in the chat. Matt, it's good to see you here. Rybo is here. Tom Servo is here. We're here. And we don't have beer. It's like new.
It's true.
It's new. It's a new leaf we've turned over. An Animal Crossing new leaf, even.
Oh, I see what you did there. Because I know things that are Nintendo now. I know you're wearing a Nintendo hat.
I am. You know, it's funny. We haven't. That's one thing I don't think we've talked about. And I mean, you've been on this journey, I think, for a while now. And I meandered in it, and then finally, I don't know what happened. Like 3 weeks ago, however long it was, I was like, you know what? I need to change something. What I'm doing, you know, I'm not working. I'm not happy. And then I was like, I'm going to do it. And then, you know, we have a great, we got a great group in PSVG of people that are trying to do the same thing. You know, we've got a weight loss group, and we're all trying to just be better, be active, and drop some pounds. So I'm happy to, I think I want to say 3 weeks now. I'm happy to say I'm down 5 pounds. So
yes,
nice. Small victories. I know you've dropped, you know, weight over time as well. So the trick is going to be keeping it off, you know.
It's true.
But you know, because of that, I'm out. I've had the last beer I had in my house, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try not to just run out and stock up on craft beer to pour down my face. So
that's basically what I did too.
You know, and the thing is, you know, I don't do anything crazy. You know, I do count calories, but I think really why I like doing that is because it helps me make more of a mindful decision. You know, because it's like, well, you know, I could have a healthy snack, or I could have this crap. You know, so it helps you make the right choices there. And then really it just helps motivate me to keep exercising, or I try to have slightly smaller portions too. So those are the little tricks I do, that nothing drastic, but it does, you know, it does make a difference, especially once you get kind of like, I've heard that it's like, you know, your brain doesn't receive the signals that you're full until like 20 minutes.
At least 15 minutes.
Yeah. So, you know, that's one of the things I try to put into principle too. So I guess it's working. I don't know.
5 pounds. Must be doing something right.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, you look good.
Matt Knight's doing the Fluxtaposed dream. He is fixing the toilet while listening to Fluxtaposed. He's taking Sean Capri's words to heart, and he's doing housework while listening to the podcast. Good on you, Matt. I hope that I hope you have not a shitty job.
I picture he's just like elbow deep into, you know, you just got to grasp it. Sometimes you can't just use a plunger. Sometimes you have to get in there with your hands on your knees and just shovel. You just got to shovel.
Right.
Form a cup with your hand and shovel.
I want to at least touch on, you know, many people that I have somewhat of a close relationship to already kind of knew what happened last week, but To inform everyone in the audience, I had a difficult week, and on Monday I didn't really feel like doing hardly anything fun. You had a bunch of work come out too, so we're like, why don't we take the week off? We just won't do the podcast. Let's focus on things out. So, long story short, I already had talked on the show how I got a sizable medical bill related to Aiden's birth. So, don't have the money on hand, to just pay that all at once. So then we went, when I made the call to get a payment plan set up with that, I was informed that that's only half. There's double that coming that I didn't even know about yet. So I was like, oh God. And then on top of that, the previous weekend we were at my in-laws and the check engine light had came on my vehicle as well. So it's like, I got to pay for that. I've got this. Everything sucks. I had like a little mini breakdown and, yeah, now we're all fine now. My wife was there to pick me up and say everything's going to be okay. This is what we're going to do. We made a plan and things are better now. I didn't inherit sums of money, but we have a plan to right the ship, so to speak.
Are you planning to murder a rich uncle? Is that what's happening here?
Well, I have an idea with a pizza delivery man and a bomb from something I may have watched, and I think I know a way I can come out ahead. I think I know. So
cool.
I was in a. I don't want to say I was in a bad place because really I'm not here to get sympathy or anything like that, because I know everyone has their struggles and everyone's going through difficult things, but I just didn't I didn't want to come on here and just fake a podcast. So we thought it's best let's just not do the show for a week. And tell you what, we've had a really good streak for a long time, and it felt really weird to not do it. Mm-hmm. And then it helped. And then I put this tweet out on social media, and I was like, we're gonna put the show on hold this week. Hope to see you in the next time. And it's like, that makes it sound like we're just going on a hiatus for an undetermined amount of time.
Well, sometimes that does happen. Things just start snowballing, and next thing you know, you never hear from them again, and it's bad. Yeah.
So we're back here. You had a bunch of ad reads you knocked out of the park, and here we are.
Well, yeah, it didn't. I get emailed my job basically, and unfortunately, I can't believe this hasn't happened before. But it basically sat in the outbox. And I didn't want to be like, I hate bugging people, so I never want to email and just be like, hey, why don't I have any work? So I just don't. Oftentimes, I just won't say anything, and it's fine. But I did think it was weird because with it was being Mother's Day, I was kind of told ahead of time, like, hey, expect a lot of work. So I was like, this seems odd. But it wouldn't have mattered anyways because I'll talk to. Should I just get into it? Should we just go into IRL? Let's do it. Let's get into it. Hey, we should probably talk about that too. I was gonna say it didn't matter because because I was at my mom's house over the Mother's Day weekend, so I was like, well, it's probably good that I didn't get these anyways because I wouldn't have been.
You wouldn't have been able to.
And so what I was doing there is I've been helping her get prepared for selling her house, which is the house that I grew up in. So it's kind of sad, but at the same time, I completely understand what it's like to be an adult and how my mom is single. She doesn't have anybody really to need a 3-bedroom, 2-story house or anything. Like, it's just a little bit too much upkeep than she really needs. Plus, she's commuting about an hour or so to work every day. There and back, so really 2 hours. So it just makes sense not to really keep it just for nostalgic reasons. Right. So I helped her with, doing her toilet. Wasn't flushing right. The sink in there needed a new faucet set in the bathroom. The kitchen sink, which was a pain, that was the part that really sucked because you kind of assume sometimes that things are just going to work. Like you just have set sizes because you'll start looking things up nowadays and you'll see like, oh, sinks come in this size, and this size. So you just measure the sink or whatever and figure out what you need. But the problem was I was replacing a cast iron sink that was probably made, 50, 60 years ago or something with one of those cheap, stainless steel pressed out real quick cheap jobbers that they do for the double sinks. and it was just barely like not fitting in there. And so the only thing you can do, and part of the problem was these new sinks have these little ridges, and inside those ridges go like reverse screws with clamps on them. So when you screw them down, these little clamps kind of travel up the screw, get tighter, and then clamp up against the countertop, so that not only did you use caulk to put it in place, but you also have it basically cinched down, pinching down on the countertop. And so these little ridges that ran all around the length of it kind of were making it so that it wouldn't fit in this hole, because the ridges were slightly wider. The cavity. That makes it sound really gross. And so, basically what happened, that wasn't even the original plan, but once I got down in there and was trying to undo the water to the faucet, because that was the main thing that needed to be done, was changing out the faucet, I was like, how did anybody put this in there? Because this is so deep that I can't get my hand up in there to unscrew the faucet out of there. So eventually we just decided to rip the old sink out, and that's how this all came about. But as you know, once you make one choice, it just leads down a road of more and more problems.
Yeah.
So we end up we buy a jigsaw or a saber saw to cut out the hole. Well, part of the issue that I didn't realize is that we were nearing so close to the edges, front and back, that the tool was too large to allow the cut that I needed. I couldn't get as deep as I needed in the cut, because the tool would either hit the front of the we would be going into the actual cabinet face, so like the countertop and the cabinet meet right here, so we couldn't go any far forward. And in the back, there's the backsplash, that kind of the lip that comes up towards the back, and so you'd hit a certain point where you couldn't put the tool down, like zip it down any farther. So that whole back area I ended up having to do by hand with a saw to cut through the countertop. Thank God it was like just laminate over some MDF or something. But it was still a pain in the ass, and we finally got it in there, but unfortunately I cut a little bit too overzealously, and you can kind of see a little bit of cutting on the edges. But if you stand back and look at it, it looks decent, and it works now. So.
It looks slick.
Yeah,
I like how you posted that. I think I saw you post on social media, like, I feel sorry for whoever buys this house.
yes, exactly. Because it's just like our house. Like, you start looking at it, and you're just like, what were they doing? They clearly didn't know. They got in over their heads or something. Same thing with the front door that I was helping her with. It looks so much better now that she has it painted. But this was a kit house, log cabin, that you basically build yourself. It comes with the plans. You buy the kit, which comes with all the lumber you need and everything, and you build it on a plot of land, right? So because of that, I think a lot of the stuff was just custom dimensions. So when we bought the door that I put in there, we really had to like shave down the sides and everything to fit in one of those pre-hung doors, because hanging doors is not easy, but neither is installing a pre-hung door either, apparently, because it kind of warped in when we were installing it, and then that created the problem of how do we get trim in there, because the depth of the outer walls was much deeper than the new door. So there was all this newly exposed stuff that I ripped out because putting in the new door, and I thought everything was going to work okay. So we had to basically custom build a new casing around the outside and put trim on it so that it looked halfway decent. Then the door didn't meet up with the sill, those metal sills that they have in the bottom of the door, on the outside. That didn't meet up, so we had to build that up with some wood. And then the inside needed the trim to be replaced, and where you nail the trim into didn't match up with the drywall. And so that had to be built up a little bit. It was just a pain in the ass.
That sounds like a mess.
It was a mess. It was. It's the exact same thing that happened when I installed my slider, or the French doors that replaced the slider door that we had. Just if you don't get it in there, you can get it. This is the problem. You can get it in straight, but if you have an older house and the walls have started sagging and stuff, your wall isn't straight anymore. So it can appear straight if you use like one of the what am I thinking of, the tools that you just put it on there and it'll tell you if it's leveler. Good Lord, no wonder why I'm having problems. You put a leveler on there and it shows everything is like squared up, but then you match it to the house and it doesn't work right or something. So those are things that I didn't realize you had to take into account. So that was a pain. And then finally, the one job that actually went well. I know, right? Tom's just like, dude.
It's a level for fuck's sake.
I got it before you said it. The only job that actually went well is the problem with log cabins is if you don't keep up with like the staining and the sealing of the wood on the outside, because it's real wood.
You gotta keep it treated.
Yeah, right. If you don't, and it'll start rotting away. And so my mom had a couple of different logs that were rotting away towards the underneath, like almost towards the foundation of the house, that need to be ripped off and replaced just for cosmetics, because these are half log siding. So what that means is they look like real logs, and on the ends they have real logs that make it appear like it's an actual log cabin, but it's actually just half of a log, not even, like less than that really, that just gives that appearance. And then on the inside you actually have regular walls as opposed to a full log on the inside as well. Well, my mom found somebody that had these lying around, and so the full logs, so we had to take them somewhere and shave them down to log siding basically, and that actually went really well. She found a local place there in Stanton where we live that or used to live, that was able to shave them down pretty easily, and those logs were heavy as hell, though. I'll tell you what.
Oh, I bet.
I'll tell you what. Took two of us to move them, and of course, I'm the only young person there. My uncle and aunt were there, but they're all old, and my mom's old, and so I felt bad because, you know, they can't pick up like 80 pounds like it's nothing. Like I can. Right.
Oh, God.
I'm so strong. It was like they got in the way mostly because I was like, I don't need help. But anyways, that actually went well, thankfully. So that was the highlight, that got all figured out. We didn't install them yet because it was too cold and gross, but it's ready to go there. So she was happy about that. And then
good. When does she plan to sell it? Or put it on the market, I should say.
I don't know if there is a plan. When she gets all the stuff done, basically.
Yeah. Is this all like stuff that like a realtor suggested that she?
Yes. Yeah. She had a realtor.
That's what I figured.
Walk through and point at everything in your house and say, "This is ugly. Needs to be changed. How did you live like this, you disgusting person?"
Yeah. Like all the things in my house. Like I remember when we had the inspection done, that were like things that we could put in the agreement to have the sellers like fix. We haven't done anything with, you know.
Yeah, I understand. If we would have made a full bid on our house, they would have put in a first floor bathroom where we want to put in a first floor bathroom, and we were like, oh, we could probably just do that ourselves for way cheaper.
Way back in Isaac's play area.
Yeah, we call it the fart closet because it's got a fan in it already, like what you'd see in a bathroom. Yeah. But now we're just like, I don't think the water's run to it yet, and we're like, maybe we should have just had them do it. But knowing what I know now, they would have probably done it cheap and quick and dirty, and probably would have fallen apart because that's how everything they do is. But speaking of other renovations, I had a kitchen renovation because, again, talking about old cheap houses, our drawers have these slides on them that are on the bottom. And they're basically just like a long tube, and then a plastic thing that you attach to the drawer goes into it and allows it to slide. Well, the problem is these things are like from the 80s, so they're pieces of garbage. They've already broken apart, and all of our drawers had a tendency to either like fall down into the drawer underneath it, or like this one, the one I'm talking about specifically that I fixed, that slide wouldn't even stay in place. It just kept falling off, and so I got tired of it. And I ordered some new ball bearing slides that you attach to the drawers. And I'm thinking, well, yeah, you just order them and you just install them. Like, it's just one of those things that it just works out, because otherwise why would they make them for you to install after, basically aftermarket parts or whatever. But the problem is these go on the sides, Jason, and these were bottom mounted before. So
oh gosh,
there's no space for the slides, because when you make the cabinets, and you make the drawers, you're assuming that if you're putting side slides on, you're going to make the drawer smaller for the opening to accommodate the slides that you're going to put in there. But if you do a bottom mount, you don't have to worry about that, and you can make the drawer the size of the hole, just about, minus like a quarter of an inch or an eighth of an inch for clearance. But other than that, you don't have any of that clearance on the sides. So these are half an inch thick when they're installed, with absolutely no clearance whatsoever. So my only recourse, basically, because I found some cheap ones and I couldn't find any bottom mount ones to take those back and get the bottom mount ones, was basically, all right, I'm just going to make this work by destroying my house. So what I did was, you know how there'll be a face frame where the drawers meet, or like the cabinets where they have the hardware and everything, so that, like, the hinges and whatnot.
Yep.
I decided I was going to remove some of that facing to accommodate the slides. So the slides would be on the inside, put in a little strip, like a 1/4 inch strip, put on the side of the cabinet, then put the slide on there, then put the slide that goes on the cabinet in, and it all should match up. Well, here's the problem. I assumed that I had tools that I could use to make these cutouts, because I only needed about a 1/2 inch cutout.
Right.
The tools, I bought a cheap Dremel. I had a cheap Dremel from Walmart that I bought, and apparently it was broken, because when I went to use it, it didn't work, because I was just going to sand out. And so basically what I ended up doing, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do this, because otherwise we just have these parts laying around and not a fixed drawer. So what's the point of that? I said, I'm just going to chisel this out with a screwdriver and a hammer. And so that's what I did. I chiseled it out, and it actually worked better than I thought it would. It looks like crap, but you can only see it when you open the drawer, and it worked. That's all
that matters, really.
Exactly. We're not going to live here forever, I'm sure, and so it's going to be somebody else's problem down the road. But all I know is now I don't have PTSD about our freaking drawers coming out and falling on the ground, because this is the drawer we kept all of Isaac's, like, plastic plates and cups and everything. So we got in there quite often, and to have it like fall every time you use it, just terrible.
Chat wants to know if you made Tim Allen noises after you fixed things.
Well, of course I did.
Matt also did not touch any poop. He successfully replaced the seal between the tank and the bowl.
I'm sorry, but it's a toilet. You touched microscopic poop at some point. Because toilets are gross. You ever notice in, like, when you watch a movie and somebody's, like, puking and they put their, like, hands and arms and face on the rim of the bowl? I'm just like, oh God, that's so gross.
Yeah, but when you're puking,
I would
you
never
don't care.
do that. I still care.
I remember being, like, sick and, like, the bowl feels so cold.
Oh gosh, because there's pee on it. Cold urine. Yes, I did definitely make Tim the Toolman Taylor noises, because as you could definitely tell, I was confused about what to do. And so as I was, you got to stand there and stare at it while you rub your chin for about 5 minutes, and then, figure it out, and then bring in the power tools. So those were my adventures over the past 2 weeks. Basically, was home reno. #shiplab. #reno day. Just what is it? Not reno day. You're no help. I know you know these things. You just demo day. See,
it's in your notes.
Help a brother out.
Demo
no,
day
shiplap was demo day. Wasn't.
I should imagine. I don't even remember what I did 2 weeks ago, so I can't even. I don't even know. But we had that event that I already talked about. We had a garage sale, so that was fun. I've discovered that I want to live the life of an NPC in a game, because I remember the last time we had it, and it's like I wasn't like, it was just kind of awkward. I'm It's weird because here I do this podcast and I talk and do all these things, and I am in leadership positions at work and I talk to all these people, and it's like I don't have a problem with social situations, but then like I just remember being really weird about it last year. But this time it was totally cool. Everyone came up. Everyone was like super friendly. We met a bunch of neighbors that we never met before, and so everyone was really nice. The best part is like people would be like, I don't know. I don't have any money, but for my wife having her, she used to have a booth at an antique store, and she sold vintage stuff. She has a little. She doesn't have a Square, but she has the PayPal equivalent. A little card swiper that connects to your phone. So like, we can take a card, no problem. So we're to pull up PayPal, and we're charging people's debit cards for stuff too. It was like,
dang,
you don't have any cash? We'll take it. Come on, give it to us. So
I take your money.
But it was just fun. I was like, if I could just stay at home and sell stuff every day, I would totally do it. It was fun.
I'm glad that you had a good experience, because I hate, remember that guy who was like, do you want to sell me this entire box of, there was probably like 20 or 30 Xbox 360 games. And he's like, oh, I'll give you $40. And at the time, I was selling Grand Theft Auto 5 for like 20 or 15. Yeah. So I'm like, no, I don't.
Well, here's the thing. I had literally just brought up I had two Rock Band guitars and my drum set, and I just put them up there, and then someone was like, literally, like somebody had just showed up. He's like, "Oh, what do you take for those?" And I was like, $20. And he's like, "Oh, do you have the game too?" I was like, "Yeah, I got it. I can."
Do I have the game?
He's like, okay. So I was like, 25. He's okay. Then I had a controller, so I sold all that Rock Band crap for $30. I just didn't even care. It's gone.
Good.
I made
That's
money.
the important thing.
That
shit
gone,
takes up way too much space.
I had a dresser in my garage since the last garage sale. That's gone. All this big stuff's finally gone. I just actually today sold my Xbox. That went on. I put that on eBay and that sold. So that's gone. I'm torn about the ColecoVision. I originally thought I was going to sell the ColecoVision, but now I'm like,
that's a collector's item.
That's kind of just a cool shelf piece to have, because I really don't know what to price it at. I think like
that's one of those things you have to sell to the right person who knows what they're buying.
Yeah. Well, I even looked on like eBay for it, and I can't really find a good price. I think it would sell somewhere between 50 to like 75. I think is what my instinct says. But I mean, by the time you get the seller's fees and everything, I don't know if I even want to bother. So we had the garage sale. It was good. It was a good experience. I had fun. I still have a lot of stuff left. We thought about waiting and doing it again this weekend, but it's holiday weekend. Plus it's going to rain again. So we're just going to get it gone. I'm just going to have someone pick it up and get rid of the rest. Unless you want to buy a total gym. I know I've asked you a couple times. Do you want to buy
I would love to buy it, but I don't have any space for it.
$20. It folds up. Folds up when you're not using it.
I've already, you know what? I did that with, those loose, the dumbbells, and then you have the loose weights that you put them on. I'll take them, no problem. And then how many times how many times I've lifted with them? Yeah. One time, and that was to put them in my downstairs basement. And then
we have a treadmill right over here next to me, and that we still use that. But speaking of this stuff, you owe me some money. You bought a sink. It's time to collect.
I know.
No.
Well, that's fine, because like I said, it's not like I'll probably buy it, get it home, and then it'll sit in the garage for 2 years.
Yeah. So it was fun. It was fun to do, and my in-laws came down to help out with Aiden, and it was fun. And lastly, it's somewhat related to real life. I didn't really announce it too much on this show. But if you're following me on social media, you probably already know I am the new co-host of the If We Were a Nintendo podcast with our friend Sean Capri, who was just on the show last week, or last episode. So we did our first episode of that, recorded last night, and that'll hit, if you listen to the audio version, that'll be out tomorrow, the same day as Fluxtaposed, but his will be out in the morning, I'm sure, because it's already done and ready to go.
What a man.
So, you can check that out. Records every Monday. YouTube.com/WeTheNerdy. So I don't want to play video games anymore. I'm just podcasting all the time. I don't want to have any free time to myself. I just do silly things instead.
That's apparently true, because when you took it, I was like, oh man, he's going to be playing even less games now. But I didn't want to say anything.
Well, the thing is, I don't play a whole lot at home, because if I'm true to my schedule, I'm in bed at 10 to get up at 5 to go to the gym, and Jess and I are, hanging out and watching our TV shows or things like of that nature. So it really isn't the time. Speaking of Jess and the garage sale, you may not have noticed yet, but you can see I'm wounded. There is a mark on my nose.
Oh, dude, you have You have the cool anime wound where it's like every character has gives you distinction.
My nose is broken, and now I'm Owen Wilson. Wow. we were moving said Total Gym, and I had sunglasses on, and the back piece of the Total Gym like pulls up and is removable. So Jess had a hold of that as she was trying to grab the other part, and so the whole thing came out, and she set it down. So that end going down really fast made the end I was holding come up really fast, which smashed into my sunglasses, which cut into my nose. And then she looks at me, and I'm like, she's like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, I just got bashed in the face, and I was bleeding, and that was fun. She's like, "Did I break your nose?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Oh, okay, whatever."
You're fine then. Walk it off, you.
Exactly.
You little baby. This is what happened. This is the sound that it made. Oh, come on, YouTube. Don't fail me now. Oh, hold on. This is the sound it made.
Flawless victory.
There we go.
Fatality.
Totally worth it, and not at all.
Totally worth it. So, there was that. We should have a reminder that next week is the last show of the month, so that means it is Netflixation. I was worried that it was this week, and I was like, we need to push it back weeks.
I did the same thing. I was like...
So again, the reminder, we'll be talking about Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal. And
I do love me some Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, so we'll be watching that, talking about that, and I think that's been in my queue forever. Waiting to watch that. Lucas, I have to ask you, speaking about movies.
Ask me.
Solo, a Star Wars story.
Yeah.
Is out this weekend. Are you excited? Many people I know that are typically very hyped for Star Wars movies are very meh about this one. Are you feeling that same way?
They're Murlocs about it? That's really weird. I am the same way. I mean, honestly, I'll tell you one thing. I am excited to a degree after watching the trailer because one of the things I've always liked about Star Wars are the locations. That is one of the saving graces of the first three movies. The prequel trilogy is when they go to more of the city-esque planets or whatever. Didn't they go to Coruscant at some point? Coruscant, or the other one? Yeah. I get them confused.
In the prequel trilogy, they're on Coruscant.
Yeah, and that's cool to me because you get to see a little bit more of the.
You like to see more of the locales and not just desert and ship interior.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point.
Which we get a lot of that in Star Wars.
So that's kind of from the trailer. I suspect at least we get to see almost like an expanded, the EU, the expanded universe. This is sort of let's show something that wouldn't typically show up in a typical Star Wars movie. Let's expand the universe. Maybe go out on a limb and I don't know, show a new race or something. Yeah. So from that perspective, I guess I could say that I am looking forward to it, but excited is a pretty strong word. I expect it to be just okay.
I for whatever reason, I think I had the same way, and unfortunately, when it talked about all the troubles they had during production, I think I was really quick to just write it off to him, well, this is going to be terrible.
Yeah, then, if your main actor has to take lessons, that's a bad sign.
Yeah, I saw the trailer, and then I was like, oh, the trailer really did change my opinion on it. And from what I've heard, the initial, I wouldn't say I read reviews, but the initial reaction I said to it is it's very entertaining. It's a good heist film. I like Donald Glover. I will say I did watch. I think that he and Alan. How do you pronounce Alan? The guy who plays Han Solo. His last name.
I don't even know who he is, honestly.
Idric or something like that. He and Donald Glover were on Ellen, and they did an interview, and they played a clip, and it was a different scene I hadn't seen before, and it was them talking during the scene where they're playing. I'm assuming they're playing Sabacc together, and
Sabacc is great.
he sounds. It really sounded like he was like doing a Harrison Ford impression with this delivery, and I was like, that. So I don't know. Maybe that was just that specific dialogue, but I hope it's not like that. But my point was, we're going to be visiting my in-laws during the holiday weekend. I was like, so I wanted the option. I got the built-in babysitter. I could go see this movie this weekend. So part of me is just like, why not?
Do it, dude.
Why
Do
not
it.
go see it?
You only live once, or as the kids say, YOLO.
Or live, die, repeat.
That's also true. Wasn't that everyone thought that was the name of that movie, but it actually was because they kept putting it on the posters.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a stab at this name. Alden Ehrenreich. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how you... Ehrenreich. Alden Ehrenreich. See, the problem is your Alden and your Aaron is a little too close. It's a little too close. You're going to want to separate. Divide and conquer. Wow.
I think a lot of people are going back. I don't know. I'm just gonna take that and go with it. A lot of people are. Han Solo is Harrison Ford, and I can separate that. To enjoy more of the character, but we've wanted. I feel like it's easier to succeed. I think right now with these type of films, these anthology films, than I think it's going to be to succeed in the new trilogy films. I feel like the expectations are so much higher, and people want so much more out of like episode 7, 8, and 9, especially with how divided people have been on episode 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say it'll be interesting to see if this movie is as terrible as Last Jedi was. So,
jeez. No, there are. I did see rumors swirling now too that there's potential of a Kenobi. Again, talks about a Kenobi anthology movie. Obi-Wan
Kenobi. Yeah, I saw you were talking about that.
Like another prequel to Episode 4. But I mean, let's face it, if they could do an Obi-Wan film and had Ewan McGregor signed on to reprise the role,
Ewan McGregor.
Phenomenal.
He's got to come back. He's like the perfect age now. He aged perfectly for this role. He's like, are these damn kids ever gonna let me get away from this? I do one prequel trilogy, and now they want me in for life. Like I can't be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But he likes the role.
Ewan, do the Obi-Wan Kenobi voice. I want to go back to Train Spotting with babies crawling down the ceiling.
Kenobi voice, so.
Give me a line.
Do you want Ewan McGregor Kenobi or Alec Guinness Kenobi?
Alec
Guinness. You sound like a Beatle. Talk about
45 times.
Yeah,
we fought this.
A more delicate weapon for a civilized.
A more delicate weapon for a more civilized time. It is a little Beatleish, isn't it?
I don't know. Is that Ringo Starr or is that Obi-Wan?
Whoa, we gotta get the. I can't even do it now. Don't put me on the spot. Why did you make me do that, Jason? I said I didn't want to. No, I said I didn't want to. I said, Jason, don't let me do this on the show. Wow.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I hope it.
Like, how much is too much? It's going to turn into Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's what they want. Star Wars Cinematic Universe. Never mind that it.
Yeah, that is what they want because it prints money, like over $1 billion. So I think they do want that again. Let's have another franchise under our belt that makes a ton of money.
We're just going to bitch about how many movies come out, and then we'll go see them anyways.
Yeah. You want to play an Overclock remix?
I could probably do that. I could do that for you. Do you know what that's from?
Guy from Family Guy.
The guy from Family Guy?
Yeah.
I could do that for you. Hey. Hey, Chris. Let me get my patented... Sorry, I'm trying to find my... I'm not doing
Are you going to get
spot-on
impressions
collection
for your Nintendo Switch?
You know what? I saw how cheap it was going to be for digital, and I just might do that. Honestly. All right, I'm going to spin the wheel.
As always, we'd like to pick a random and feature, I should say, random remix from the front page, Orthodox Remix.
A random Castlevania remix from the front
20,
page.
Is it 20 most recent mixes that show up on
I think
the front
they
page?
upped it to
25?
I think it's 25 or 30, but we only do the top 20, so.
Yeah. What do we got?
I got a lot of counting.
I'll just...
Oh my god, it's... Wait, did we do this?
Chop the air.
Sega Rally? Sega Rally Championship. I don't think
so.
I don't remember the name. The name of the title.
Autos, ARPS, and Mini Moogs.
Autos, ARPS, and Mini Moogs.
I guess I would say ARPS from that. It's not capitalized, so I wouldn't... No, because it's right next to Sword of God, which we played before.
Oh, let's do it. I mean, it's got to be some like Eurobeat or something.
Yeah, so our remix tonight is going to be from Sega Rally Championship, which was released on 1995 on the Sega Saturn. 4 songs featured in this. Wow, it pulls from some different games. We have Sega Rally Championship, then we have Marvel vs. Capcom, Clash of Superheroes, The Hybrid Front, and then Thunderblade. That's an interesting span. Yeah.
Gee, oh yeah, there you have it. It's right there.
It ranges 4 games in here. It's funk. I'm gonna like it already. I can tell.
Yeah,
again, it's called Autos, ARPS, and Mini Moogs. Our remixer is Zai. I'm assuming the T is silent. TXAI, or it's
no one knows.
Zai.
No one knows. Oh god. Oh god. Wow, that was horrible. Nothing. Nothing. Shut up.
I didn't touch any settings. I didn't push any buttons.
I'm only doing what I was told. Just making sure everyone's awake.
We're going to play this remix. We'll be back, do some What You Playing with some Grab Bag, and that'll be the show. So, as always, you can find this remix and many more at ocremix.org. How about that?
What?
Now we're back. Now
What?
we're back.
Yeah. What?
We weren't doing
Nothing
anything with
happened.
our-
Nothing was out of order. You're out of order. Shut up.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I was trying to be Kanan. Kanan Jarrus with me.
From
my Star Wars Rebels.
Star Wars. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I assumed more of a Geordie LaForge
Ooh.
personally, but
Jordy LaForge.
Geordie.
Hey, is it time to talk about our favorite segment that's advertised weekly on If We Were Nintendo? It's called What You Playing? That was sweet.
It was the best.
Lucas, you've got some good things here. So I don't
got
know
some
if you
good
remember.
things.
I don't remember. Did I say I finished Doom on the last episode? I don't remember if I did because I finished Doom, at least the single player.
That was so long ago. You expect
It
me to
was so
remember
long
that?
ago, but I did. But then since that time, I had received Tropical Freeze, and I've played through that. I'll probably eventually go through and complete it, get all the collectibles. Great game. Really enjoy the platforming. It's got I would say difficult but fair platforming difficulty. It's no Celeste. I mean, that game's much harder, but really fun. I love what they do with some of the sections and some of the depth of field things. And it was just a really fun game. I'm interested to play the co-op experience of that. Great sound effects, great visuals, great animation. I'm pretty sure already it's like destroyed the Wii U lifetime sales numbers in just a few weeks on the Switch. So that's what happens when they port stuff. Oh dang, yo! But great game. I got it for a really good price, so can't argue with that. And then I've been playing. The only other thing I've been playing right now, besides Mario Golf, the lunch tournament is still going. So if you are interested in joining that, please let me know. I'll make sure I'll get you that the tournament code. But we're still doing that on a weekly basis.
What's the speed thing that I saw you guys talking about?
Oh, so now typically, we've played match play. Typically, lowest stroke wins. Typical golf rules. But we had this new variant that Donnie want for this week is every hole is timed. So it's how fast you can play through the 18 holes.
Oh, my.
So then you're not really worried about your score so much. But, I mean, the more shots you take, obviously, the longer you're going to spend on the hole. So you want to be quick, but you don't want to be too careless because you still want to get through each hole quickly. So
yeah.
It's interesting. We've probably got, I don't even know now. I mean, we've got over 10 people playing this every week.
That's almost a real PGA tour right there.
and the number keeps growing, so it's just fun to see.
Now, do you have a green blazer for the winner, or?
Well, I don't know. You have to ask Donnie.
He'd probably go out and buy one, knowing him.
Actually, the past tournament was the first time I didn't make the podium. So,
dang, dude.
And I just got the game. That's how good I am.
Well, you were pretty stressed, so you probably had the stress factor in there.
I brought it with me to my in-laws because I thought I'd probably try to beat my score again before the tournament closed, but I never played it because I started playing Hyrule Warriors and Definitive Edition.
All I can say before we move into that is, in life, Jason, there are no second chances. So just remember that when you're golfing.
You know, I had access to this game on the Wii U. My brother let me borrow it, but for whatever reason, I just never played it. And I am now. I'm playing through the story mode. I put a lot of time into it. I'm interested in really getting to the modes beyond that, but I really want to just play the story mode. Story mode first for the sake of doing it. But it's just fun, you know, just run around this battlefield, feeling like you're this overpowered champion and just slaughtering through minions left to right and doing these crazy combos that make no sense. You get kind of sick of seeing like the same like animations over and over, like for your big attacks after a while, and like some of the guitar riffs get kind of repetitive when you just hear that, like, because on the story maps, you're like, it takes you like 30 minutes plus to do a mission, while I hear other things are like, you can be done a lot more bite-sized, like the adventure mode and stuff like that. So that's a little bit draining, but it's total Zelda fan service. I mean, if you're a Zelda fan or played like a lot of the games, this is what this game was made for. You know, it's just like all this mashup of characters and worlds, and the story is all bizarre, and it's just cool to see all these characters like in an experience like this. So has some like quality of life improvements that they made, like when they ported it to the 3DS, but nowhere near like the advancements they made with Fire Emblem Warriors, which was released on the Switch. So I'm really interested to see what we might get in the next Warriors game. Like, what game world are we going to go to? But then, like, what's it going to play like? You know, so I think this has the couch co-op too, so that'd be something cool to try sometime. To play that, because I definitely hear it makes the game that'd be tiny screen, especially for like, that's like I need to look up the controls because I don't know how to, like, I can actually order, you can switch between heroes on the fly, but then when you're not controlling them, you can actually, you know, send orders to have the AI go do things for you, because oftentimes in this game you're going to be attacking somewhere else, and then your defenses are being overwhelmed over here, so you have to choose: do I keep pressing the attack here, or do I fall back to help out? Or all of a sudden an item appears on the other side of the map I want to collect. So you're constantly having to make decisions like that to leave one side of the battlefield and go to another. Wherein if you have a second player, you can kind of split up. You can say, hey, I'm going to keep doing this, why don't you go do that, you know, and you can divide and conquer a little more timely, a little easier. But
that'd be nice.
It's a really fun game. I wish I could say more how it compares to the Wii U version, but I'm sure I think it sold well on Wii U. I'm sure it's going to sell just as well, if not more, on Switch. And I think this is like the last that we know of right now. This is like the last big port of any game that was released on the Wii U that's been announced for Switch. So unless we get Star Fox Zero, no. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna
Do we
happen,
want that though?
No, nobody does. And then the last thing, which you have in your notes as well, is Evil Genius. Yes. And a reason I heard about this is Donnie, Mr. Ain't No G in Playing Nintendo, talking about this. And yes, I had played. Tom Servo brings it up. Resident Evil Revelations 2. I played the raid mode with him a little bit. And it's true. I haven't put enough time into it yet because I just haven't. I've been too ADD and all over the place playing other stuff. But it was definitely fun. Like the daily missions that we did, where like the difficulty really ramped up and you're overwhelmed with crazy enemies. It's fun. Plus, I'm Barry. I'm playing as Barry Burton. So that's just fun because you almost became a Jill Sandwich.
The master of unlocking.
Yes, everyone's favorite, master of unlocking. So, and I haven't played Resident Evil games since Resident Evil 5 on the 360, which was kind of didn't really feel like Resident Evil too much. I think
that was even more actiony.
Yeah, I like Resident Evil 4 a lot more. You know, that was a better experience. But yeah, Donnie, back to Evil Genius. Donnie was talking about this and saying how it was really great, and then I saw Callow was watching it, and I was like, I read the description, like, what the hell? And I vaguely remember it. So there was this took place.
I didn't remember it at all.
2003. This happened. Was that no?
2001, I think.
I can't remember the date exactly, but essentially, a man robbed a bank with a bomb strapped to his chest, and then reveals that he was just a hostage, and it's part of this bigger plot that he was forced to rob this bank.
Wait, are we saying spoilers?
Well, this is a news story. This is a news story, I mean, it's
True.
not really spoiler. I'm not going to reveal like who they think the mastermind is. Like I'm just telling the story of the plot here.
Okay. Well,
So
I don't want to give up too much.
It's in the description. He's got a bomb on his chest.
No, I didn't want to say something that would. I didn't want to take the conversation further, and then you'd be like, "Oh, I wasn't going to talk about that because it spoils it," and then I'd been like,
So this is an exploration of that case, with interviews with FBI agents that were involved, Pennsylvania state troopers, was the Erie police as well, happened in Erie, Pennsylvania, and there's a bigger plot.
I was just going to say, isn't it funny that it happened in Erie, Pennsylvania, and it was such a weird case?
No. That's dumb.
It's not dumb.
And it's only 4 episodes, and they're like 45 minutes each, so it's totally bingeable. And it's just you think you know where it's going, and it gets more bizarre and more bizarre the further you get into it. And it's kind of funny. As soon as we started watching, I was watching this like, oh my gosh, is this what 30 Minutes or Less was based on? And I quick hit the Wikipedia for that, and it was just doesn't ever say that. There's a section that was like coincidences with real life events, but very similar, I really liked it. I think that's what Netflix does. I love these little crime documentaries that Netflix has, like Making a Murder, of course, this film, and it was it produced by the Duplass brothers?
Yeah. It was odd to see that because they produced Creep as well.
Creep.
And some other movies.
I'm assuming they do Creep 2 as well.
Creep 2.
Safety Not Guaranteed.
One, yeah, that's the one. I always forget the name of that one. So very weird that they would do it, but kind of not weird if you think about it too, just because having done Creep and some other stuff, it's not that out of
creep.
Oh boy. But you know what the weirdest part is though? That it's named Erie, Pennsylvania, and it happened there.
No, there was a show called Erie, Indiana, and that was.
I kept wanting to say that. It was like this close to me saying Erie, Indiana, and I'm like, that's not right. Don't say it. You're gonna look stupid in front of Jason. Oh. I liked it. I thought it was good. I started watching it. I got about 15 minutes into it, and then I was like, this is probably one of those things I should save for watching with my wife, because we don't watch our tastes don't typically combine or overlap that often, and so I was like, no, this one might actually do it.
That's always good when you have I understand.
And the hard part is she doesn't like horror stuff or scary stuff, so when it comes to true crime, it typically is a little, like it can ride that edge as to how creepy it ends up getting. Yeah. So but yeah, and then I saw it was 4 episodes, so we just watched it in like 2 nights.
Yeah, you just crushed it. Hey, it's perfect timing too, because The Toys That Made Us, another documentary, that's about to come back. May 25th. So that's right around the corner. Get to enjoy that. Probably talk about that next week.
Yeah, no. Was it ever confirmed what the episodes were going to be about, or is it still kind of a secret?
Hello Kitty.
Ugh.
I think Transformers. I think it shows it all in the trailer. Oh,
I'm gonna see if I can get a list real quick.
Josh knows.
Star Wars. Oh no, that's first. Why are you telling me
Lego.
more about episode 2?
Lego, Hello Kitty. I think Transformers, and I don't know what the 4th one would be.
I don't know either. You would think it would be really easy to find if you Googled it, but unfortunately it's somehow not. Their logo is great, but clearly they took inspiration from us, so I don't know how I feel about that.
I'll just look at the trailer real quick. So yeah, you got definitely Transformers, got Legos,
Star Trek, Transformers,
and Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
Which I'm really surprised. Like I was hoping we get like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something else, because I just don't remember Star Trek being popular, but it's also like a little bit before my time. It looks like
True.
Like back when the original series was popular, and then like
I forget about that completely.
Insane. But I'm interested to learn more about Lego and everything, because like Lego was almost bankrupt at one point, and now they're like the biggest toy company in the world. So.
Yeah, I think they make a ton of from their licensed products too.
Oh, they have to because they have the license with every good major property now,
and some not great ones.
Yeah, that too. So that's my stuff. Now it's time to check in with Lucas for his weekly Switch update.
Yes, exactly. I'm a Nintendo fanboy now. Well, and
Here, as my hat?
Yeah, no kidding. We're men of many hats. We can both wear them. As I had assumed when I suspected, or when I was talking about one day fancifully getting a Switch, I suspected that I would play it unlike with the computer, where you have to sit down at your battle station and be hidden away from the world like some kind of, like you're doing some kind of pornographic thing. With the Switch, I can play it on the couch while I'm ignoring my child, so I play a lot more of it than I thought I would, except for obviously, like I said, Breath of the Wild. I like to dock my Switch for Breath of the Wild. Get a little sweet docking action.
I want that premiere experience.
It's true. I need all of the resolutions, all of the pixels. So speaking of which, let's start there, I guess. Zelda Breath of the Wild, my friend. I have defeated the 4 divine beasts.
Oh my gosh.
And it's funny because I feel like I did them in reverse order, considering the first one I felt was the hardest.
No order.
I know, but the puzzles are, the puzzles are kind of like, they're all slightly different, but they kind of have a familiar theme of like moving parts inside the divine beast and rotating or tilting or whatever. But for some reason, like the bird Meadows was the easiest one to me, just because they all were kind of like in the wings of the bird, so it was really easy to figure out how to get to them.
Yeah. How many shrines have you done? Do you know roughly?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. Well, let's see. I've got. Well, that's not going to tell you. Well, I think I have 15 hearts and 1 piece away from a full stamina meter. So if you take out 4 hearts, that would be 11.
Wait, like a full radial dial or like completely full stamina?
A full radial dial.
Oh, okay.
So the full circle, and then the next full circle too.
Okay.
I'm 1 chunk away, just because I kind of feel like it's like not necessary.
Yeah, that's like the one thing I learned too. Like because I wanted to be able to climb, but then after a while, you're just like, use stamina. You're just like,
Yeah. I usually have something that gives back some stamina.
I'm really surprised there weren't enough shrines or items that would give you. I thought for sure they'd do it in the DLC that would give you the 20 max hearts and full stamina, but you can't. You have to have one or the other. You can't have.
Oh, I didn't know that actually. So now that you tell me that.
Yeah, but not that it matters, because I mean, you can just easily get more hearts with food. So
that's true. Temporary ones. Can you go over the 20 with temporary hearts, or is it always locked out at 20?
I want to say it's locked out in 20, but I'll wait for Tom Servo to correct me, because he's put much more time into Zelda than I.
Yeah, he's sometimes playing when I am. I'm like, oh, it's like we're playing together, but not really. I wish I had friends. So
what's your game plan here? You're gonna get the Master Sword, and then you could go.
I am getting that Master Sword because
you want to do.
Oh, I do want to get the Master Sword first, so that can break immediately upon usage. And then I also have some memories to collect. I think I have 6 right now, and so I'm halfway done. I'm gonna get them.
I definitely recommend getting all the memories before you finish the game.
All the memories. That's an in-joke between you and I. Nobody else is gonna get. And then Ganon, because I remember you saying, I don't know why that stuck out in my mind, but I remember you talking about how you went to Ganon and then got the Master Sword, I think, or something like that, and you were just.
That definitely didn't happen.
Oh, I thought you said that. Or
I got the Master Sword as soon as I could.
Okay, I felt like you didn't.
I got the Master Sword, I think, before I finished all the shrines. I mean, all the divine beasts.
Weird. Well, never mind then. Okay. Well, I took the wrong story away from that. Yeah. But anyways, I wanted to get the Master Sword, but that's kind of the thing though, is I didn't even get the map piece, because I kind of went off to the off to the east and then doubled back and went to the west and then finally came back around over to where the Lost Woods is. So I didn't even know where it was until the last part of the game because of that. So it's no big problem though. I get the Master Sword.
I love that sequence of getting the Master Sword. I just like chills, it's just so cool to see it and everything. That's one of my favorite parts in the game for sure.
The Lost Woods looks completely different than anywhere else you've been, so it's just really, I don't know, kind of kicks it down a notch, and you're just like, whoa, what's going on? So yeah, that's the plan. Get the Master Sword, beat the game, kick some ass. I thought I had more hours into it than I actually did. I think I'm sitting at like 22 or 24. I felt like I was at...
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, because I'm assuming that time is correct on the save game. That's cumulative time, right? It's not just... It's just not just what time you saved it in military time, is it?
I guess I never paid attention to the save game. I've always just gone by the log on...
Oh, I could be completely wrong then. Maybe it is just the military time that you...
While you're talking.
Okay, I would too, but my Switch is upstairs. I guess I'll keep talking.
I mean, because for me, I sunk extra time by, I went in and did the, I was maxing out a bunch of armor, upgrading armor. I got every piece of armor I could in the game, and I did, I did most of the side quests. I don't think I did all of them, but
I'm not gonna do all of them. I do want to do the one that you told me not to miss. I'm guessing was the house that you were talking about. Yeah. I do want to get that, but I find getting money in this game to be kind of difficult.
According to the play activity on Nintendo Switch, you've played for 45 hours or more.
Okay, okay, so I'm not going crazy.
That sounds a little bit better.
Yeah, I was like, how has it only been 22 hours? That's weird. So then it must have been military time.
And I'm nowhere near a ton of people. And I've done, let's see, I did 5 hours of Donkey Kong. And I did Splatoon for 145, Brawlout for 55, and Zelda should be my next most played with, I can't even see it on there. I think I'm at like 100, 120 or something like that.
Damn. So. But yeah, well, that counts the DLC and stuff that you've done too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, well, there you go. So I have a couple more hours to go then yet. I'm not gonna.
Don't have all those Korok seeds yet.
I was just gonna say I'm not gonna collect those. Bug that. That's like the feathers in Assassin's Creed. I mean, at least they're useful, but gosh, yeah. I don't. I just when I find them, when I run across them, because you always suspect, you're just like, why the hell are there just like 3 rocks in a row? What's that about? I bet if I do something with these. Speaking of rocks, Stardew Valley. I've been playing a ton of this game, Jason, and I don't know why. Yes, I do. It's because it's really easy to play when you're sitting on the couch. So I put some time into it. Winter is coming, my friend.
Uh-oh.
I am literally on the last day of winter, or second to the last. So I'm not really sure what to expect, and I kind of don't want to know. I'm not sure if I can farm during the winter. Like, what grows in the wintertime, but...
Yeah, unless you have a greenhouse.
I expected not to be able to, so I should be fine because I'll just go mine. Well, like I found out today, I was like, how the hell am I ever going to get enough gold to make a gold bar? Now that I'm deep enough in the mine, yeah, I'm throwing it away practically because it's like all you find for the last 40 levels or something like that.
And see, I think you're more into like the game than I even been. So like, I think I'm still at that point where I'm intimidated by the scope and like my my lack of knowledge and my no understanding of the mechanics. I think that's what like is my barrier to entry and what's keeping me from really jumping into this, while you just like went in and ran with it, and now you've gotten so much and have been getting so much out of the game where I've merely scratched the surface, and I've owned it for like 3 times as long as you.
Well, there's still stuff I don't know yet, because I swear to God, I keep giving Marnie gifts, and I don't know what she likes, but I've given her eggs, and she's like, oh, that's a really thoughtful gift, and then I don't get any relationship hearts with her, and I need them for a certain quest, and so I'm kind of like, bitch. What's up?
Yeah, like a
I gave you
Shoot Larry quest, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I gave her maple syrup. Do you know how much that shit costs in real life? It's got to be like $15 worth that I gave her, and she goes, "I don't know what to do with this, but thanks anyway." Or like, "It's the thought that counts." And I was like, "Dude, this is fresh maple syrup."
Premiere. Adobe Premiere
I don't know
Pro.
what to do. Adobe Premiere Pro gifts up in this biatch. Sounds like I'm saying gifts, but I'm saying gifts. So I don't know what to do. I might just kill her. I think I'm just gonna kill her and take over her farm.
I like it.
But you know what? The multiplayer patch is probably coming soon. You can come work on Cornhole Farms. You can be a ranch hand. Then you're just wasting my time.
Yeah, it's on beta. It's in beta on PC. I don't think we're gonna get it in console until like probably
Is it in
fall.
beta max though?
No.
Well, that sucks because doing it by yourself is pretty tough. I still can't grow hops because they need a trellis, and I'm not sure if I need to buy that. All of this is just to say basically that I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing. I did get to the bottom of the mine though, so I'm pretty proud of that.
Nice.
Also, there's a thing called a lava katana, and that just sounds cool. Like rolls right off the tongue.
That sounds like something that should be in what's that 2D side-scrolling Minecraft that's all pixely and
Stellaris or no. I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember the name.
That sounds like a weapon from that game, not a Stardew.
But isn't it cool sounding though? Lava katana. It sounds like a freaking spell from Harry Potter. But anyways, I did all the mining. I have a pretty good. I got some cows now. I built a barn. Got some chickens. Oh, see? Look at that. You don't need the trellis. It's built into the seed. Why would I assume that? I have to build a freaking mayonnaise making machine. Why would I assume that I don't have to build trellis? But it makes sense.
Well, that's
now.
just not realistic. The seed just sprouts a trellis.
Sprouts a trellis? What idiot made this? Probably never farmed in their life. So it's fun, and I wish the multiplayer patch would come soon so that we could play together, because I have a feeling I'm going to be done with this game before that happens. But we could always start a new one. And then unexpectedly, I played some Civilization 5 with Coach Mo from PSVG, the Hulkster, as he's known around these parts.
Yeah, he's all about them PC games now.
Yeah, well, he's been much like I was indoctrinated into the Nintendo Brotherhood. He has swallowed the which one is the one that tells you all the secrets? Blue pill? That was the blue pill, right, or the red pill? I don't know. He swallowed the good pill. The one he took both of them, and now he's a PC gamer for life. He's got that swagger, yo, and he's getting all the honeys. I don't know, but I will say
that's a fair assessment.
I feel like that pretty much sums him up pretty well. We played some Civilization 5, and I have not played this game in quite some time. Any Civilization game.
I've never played a Civ game, I don't think.
It's the ultimate just one more turn, at least in my opinion. And so I was curious to see how the multiplayer would work, because you've got like hot seat where you take your turns on the same computer. You have it where you can play over, like it'll email you when it's your turn, and you can just jump into the game and do your turn and then leave again. And then of course you have your typical multiplayer where everyone takes their turn at the same time. Then the computers obviously are already kind of know what they're going to do, and then you two take your turn, and then it all plays out or whatever. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's kind of gotten me back in Civ 5. I chose to be England because that is mostly where I'm from, and so Queen Elizabeth is my bae. Got to go with my girlfriend, and I was like, all right, we're gonna be about expansion. We're gonna be about economy, and we're gonna have 0% jobless, 0% homeless. We're also going to be a naval force to be reckoned with, because that's how we do it up in England. And then the barbarians came, and they came, and they were snatching up our babies. They were taking my settlers and my workers like a-holes.
I expect to see it. They're climbing into our windows.
That's what I was going. That's what I was going for. I don't know if, because even Mo was like, did I like turn up a setting on barbarians or something? Or no, I had made a joke about next time turn them down. He's like, is that a setting? Because I will totally. We can restart this right now. I was like, well, I don't know. So let's just keep going with this one for now. So we might restart just because I'm deep in a hole. Down in a hole. I'm just like trying to tread water at this point. It's horrible. But it was a lot of fun. We didn't fight anybody. We haven't even fought yet because I didn't find anybody. Bismarck came over and I was like, bitch, I'm dealing with barbarians right now, so you can get the hell out of here, Bismarck. I like your donuts, and that's it. Nobody. We quit. That game's long. We were like, hey, you want to save? And we'll pick this up. We might play it tomorrow night. But it also sounds like we may have woken the sleeping dragons of other people who have this game and might want to play with us. It'd be cool to get 4 people and just have a non-computer game.
Let's just play Rise of Nations.
Gosh, wasn't that the one where if everybody had nukes, it would just destroy the world?
For everyone. Yeah, that's.
Oh gosh, I forgot about that. That game was good. So we already talked about Evil Genius, but I'll get through the other 2 things that I've watched. Deadpool 2. No spoilers. I'm just gonna say what I said when I chatted it up, because weirdly, I went and saw this like opening night, which I never typically do, especially for like a Marvel Universe movie, but Danette didn't really have any interest in seeing it. Does. That's right. Turns you into a moviegoer. I got tons of movies coming out that I want to see, honestly. So that's good for me because I can put that damn popcorn bucket to use. Paid $45 for that thing. Fill it up twice, you get your money back practically. So Deadpool 2, I thought the story was better than the first one. The comedy was about on par. There were some funny parts. Okay. I did laugh. I don't know if the story is any deeper or any more meaningful, but I feel like the theme of what the story was presenting as far as like a story that I'd want to... I feel like in the first one, that was not like a huge limb to go out on, that he was going to get revenge or whatever. And so in this one... Yeah, and so this one was a little bit different, and so it was more interesting from that aspect of just like, oh, this is not your typical fare. It, like I said, it doesn't really go super deep. It's not going to change your life or anything, but I was appreciative of it. So I don't know. Right now, it kind of sits at a 3.5 out of 5, probably 4 out of 5, somewhere in there. And then Flint Town.
Yes, that's one thing I want to start. I want to start this too. I really do want to watch it.
I will say that it is pretty good. It's pretty dark at times, I think. Not in a horrible way, but just in
it is. I mean, it is Flint, so
yes, exactly. And if you thought like just what you've heard about is fucked up, then when you watch this, you're just gonna be like, I don't know. I remember reading headlines and stuff, and most of it's about the water, but like the police situation and stuff there is
the city was
really
bad, but there was just a lot of crap and crime in Flint to begin with. But now you got this too. So
exactly, it was good. I recommend it.
How many episodes are there? Do you know? Offhand?
8, I believe. 8 1-hour episodes. 45 minutes. 45 minutes. Okay. But it's good. It's good. It's so weird to see a documentary about a town that's not really that far away from you. You know what I mean? And
but
it's
far enough. But thankfully far enough.
It can stay there. Yeah. It's on the 10 most violent cities in America list. So, I mean, it can stay over there. And it's just funny to watch because, like Detroit, in a way, in certain areas isn't really much better, but at least they're not dealing with a water crisis.
Right.
So it's so crazy just to see. I mean, it really is like you're playing SimCity and all the shit hits the fan and just everything goes wrong at the same time. Like you realize, oh, the sewer pipes are connected to the intake water pipes, the freshwater pipes, and now I've enabled, dumping into the into the water. Yes. So it's just like, wow, all of this stuff is just tumbling down into a shit-filled crater.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's good. I would recommend it even to people who don't live in the pure Michigan state. So
there you go.
I'm glad that I didn't strike out on Netflix, because they were I wasn't going well for me as far as movies are going. So it was nice.
Are you going to watch Lost in Space?
I started it, and it seemed okay, but I started it with the thought that I could watch it with Isaac around, and I don't think that's the case.
Yeah.
I'll probably be watching that by myself, so probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. I got too many shows I need to finish first. Like I gotta finish The Tick before I start anything else.
Spoon.
That's the rules. So, you want to do a little grab bag and get the F out of here?
Oh sure. I gotta do what I've been doing, and that's play some beautiful music. No, let's go with. I got something for you.
A random song from the Chronology album.
From Michael McDonald. Why are you logging me into Tube Buddy? Get out of my swamp.
What is Tube Buddy?
It helps with chronic anxiety. No, it helps with managing your YouTube accounts.
Oh.
Also, it's a porn search. No.
Oh, okay. Now it all makes sense. So I will happy to say that in honor of us not releasing an episode, Dan Anthony is still using the Twitter name Dan Anthony Clone, Ascent for Men.
But
because he's that awesome.
It's Ascent for Men. Ascension.
Oh, he has that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's an ascension.
Because he's smart. He did it that way.
He knows marketing.
That's
the lingo.
But Dan, our man in the street, had sent us a story that we weren't able to share last week. And since then, we got an update on the story that Kevin Austin also sent. So he gets co-author credit on this Breaking Bulletin.
Damn it, I'm going to pay two people.
Sean, let's talk here. What is going on in Canada? This is a video. This is the headline from Deadspin. And I quote, "Video. Woman furiously shits on floor of Tim Hortons, throws it at employees." So there was this video, and it was sped up, and this woman, you see her arguing with the cashier, and then all of a sudden she just pulls down her pants, leans against the little divider, and craps on the floor, picks it up, throws it across the counter, grabs some napkins, wipes herself, throw those at the employees too, and storms out.
I'm surprised she wiped herself, honestly, because if you're going in public like that, I mean, I think it's safe to say that you probably don't.
Right? And of course, the debate was, well, why the hell would she do this? And because there's like a little privacy divider right there, like people that were just sitting in the store couldn't really see what she was doing. So, I mean, they could hear her arguing, but it's not like they could see her crapping.
Oh, they could hear every wrinkle as it passed through.
So the big debate was, what caused this? What happened? And then there's a follow-up story that that's what Kevin shared with us of what actually happened. So I'm pulling that up right now. This is coming from Vice. We finally know why the angry Tim Hortons pooper pooped.
I had suspected this when I watched it.
Yeah, and this is from British Columbia, Canada. This happened. There's the video below. Blah blah. Well, we finally have the answer. It turns out that the Timmy's employees wouldn't let her use the bathroom, and she really, really had to go. Tim Hortons has a restroom policy, and is that anyone can use it. You don't have to be a customer, but that in some franchises, employees have to give you a key or buzz you into the bathroom at their discretion. So in their particular discretion, they advised that this woman wasn't allowed to use the bathroom because of past behavior and out of concern for the immediate safety of team members and the guests.
I think they were right. That was a good call.
Based on the fact that what she did, yes. I mean, in fact, if you're gonna, I don't know if I could defecate in public like that. If I had to
even if you wanted to,
because that's like they say, like, that hardest thing, like, because of your human condition and what you've learned, like, you won't, even if you have to, how bad you have to go, it's like extremely difficult for you to just like piss yourself, you know.
Don't look.
I mean, I'm pee shy. I have to imagine I'm poop
You have a shy bladder,
too.
right? Shy colon, shy bladder, and shy
I mean,
colon. How could you not have both?
Yeah, so I give her props for just pulling it off. You know.
Now, my question is, have you ever furiously shit before? Because I don't think I can say that I have.
You know, that I would follow up that question is, like, you ever have diarrhea, but it don't hurt when it comes out?
That's like the opposite of furious shitting. I don't think I think if I was furious, my first reaction wouldn't be to shit. It would actually be the opposite. I'd be like jammed up because I'm so mad. Yeah. Get tight.
Yeah,
Make it tight like pipe.
I don't think I have. Okay.
Have you ever thrown poop? Any poop, not just your own.
No, but you do. I do have a gross poop story I can share.
Well, it is the poop hour.
So
the power poop hour.
This was when I first started working at Adtegrity. So this is about 4 years ago. I went with my in-laws. Jessica and I went with our in-laws. We took a trip to Chicago because we got Jess and her mother tickets to like a show, like a Broadway version of like I Love Lucy or whatever for Valentine's Day. So we had already eaten dinner. We went out to the show and we came back and we got a snack. Or we had like appetizers and I had like a beer at this restaurant prior, and then like I was like fuller than I've ever been in my life. Like
Fuller House.
I like felt gross. So I left everybody there. I went up to the room and I had to lay down because I just wasn't feeling good. And then so the next day, I mean that's all gotta
next day. Holy crap. I would have been straight to the toilet.
Well, in the hotel room that we had, it was her parents had a bedroom and we just we had like the pull out, so it was a small room, bathroom was like right there, everyone's up and about, so there's like you didn't have that buffer. You're all about the buffer.
You need the buffer zone for sure.
So this thing just won't flush.
Oh man, everyone can hear.
It just spins around the bowl and I'm like, oh no. And it's like after a while, after like 3 or 4 flushes, people are gonna be like, what's going on in there? What's he doing
in there?
So I'm like freaking out, embarrassed, and then finally I had to make a decision. I had to make the call. To manually adjust.
Oh no!
The object
in question.
Yeah.
Okay, so break it down.
I don't need to break it down.
You need to break it down, every single thing that happened.
No.
Well, did it work? I guess obviously you're still alive because the other option would have been to kill yourself.
Yeah.
to avoid shame. See, you needed a poop knife. You scoffed at the poop knife when you heard the story, but obviously there is a time and a place.
It's true.
Now I am lucky enough that I go once or twice a day, so they're never large.
A lot of motion in the ocean.
It's like it's like a rabbit just dropped by and left a couple of presents for you.
Well, there you go.
I hope she got what she wanted.
I think
guess
she did.
It was to poop on the. I mean,
yeah.
I watched the video. It was a hefty amount. It wasn't just like she wasn't lying that she had to go. Let's just put it that way.
Right. Speaking of having to go.
Oh, segue of the year. I'm calling it right now.
How about we
That
go?
was amazing.
But before we do, if you've enjoyed Poop Talk and you want to say, how can I get more Poop Talk in my life? Head on over.
Send in your stories.
To patreon.com/Fluxtaposed. You can find out all the great ways you can help make this little podcast happen each and every week. And because of people that already do that, we want to say thank you to all of our patrons, but a special thanks to our Arbiters of Awesomeness, Sean Capri, Edwin Kahlo, Tyler Allen, Nathan Horton, and our Executors of Excellence, Josh Bourbone, Dan Anthony, and Siri Renee. We appreciate your support each and every week, each and every month. And hey, we've seen some Fluxtaposed swag out there in the wild, so that's awesome that you guys have decided to decorate your bodies in the worst fashion possible.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the enthusiasm. So, on behalf of myself, on behalf of Lucas, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to another episode of Fluxtaposed. We'll be back next week with Netflixation and so much more. You'll never believe what happens next. Not really. We'll just be back.
And it'll be quite believable. I was too, if you remember.